Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachisundara, Jaya Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachi Sundara, Nitai Sachi Sundara, Nitai Sachi Sundara, Nitai Sachi Sundara, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya, Giri Govardhan, Jaya, Giri Govardhan, Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Nitai Sachi Sundara Chi ki Jai, Gaura Premanandi, Hare Hare Krishna. Welcome Vichai as well. Let's start. Om Gena Timirandas, yeah. Gananshana Shalakaya Chakshunam Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stabitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swabadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrachatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitamtam Sachivam Sadvaitam Sabatutam Parichana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishapkam Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. These were some invocation prayers for auspiciousness. Today, I thought we have a text of my choice because I sent out a text today to rid us of all anxiety. Come join us. You get rid of your anxieties. Well, that was mainly meant for our dear friend Isaac. I just thought I pick a theme he might be able to relate to. But I just remember he's on holiday, so he won't be there today. But anyway, it's a good text for us all to how to be peaceful. The whole world is not peaceful. And not only externally not peaceful, but people are not peaceful within their mind. Of course, we know we have the miseries of this material world, the threefold miseries, Adi Devik, Adi Bautik, Adi Atmik, or Adi Atmika, Adi Bautika, Adi Devika. Adi Devika, Devika, earthquakes, too much rain, flooded in Eastern Europe, flood, water everywhere. Too little rain in Africa, drought, earthquakes, so many, solar storms, so many Adi Devika. So these are miseries caused by the interactions of the demigods, the devas, the adi bhautika, is miseries from other living entities, from other people. People cause us trouble. People cause us pain in relationships, they're misunderstanding, they're fighting, even amongst friends and family members, even over petty, small things. So this is adibhautika, other living entities, not only human beings. As other animals may cause us distress, even microbes and bacteria and viral infection, these are all living entities. They're causing us distress. Mosquitoes are biting us, perhaps not now anymore, but in the more summery, warmer times. And then we have adhyatmika, which is miseries from our own mind, mental disturbance. And that we want to address tonight. So adhyatmika, atma, the self, the mind. So many miseries caused by our own mind. We have some sound coming in somewhere from. That's outside, I think. That's a mosque. It's not here. No. So people are troubled in their mind by thinking of the future. What will the future bring? If we're thinking of the future, we're full of anxiety. If we are thinking of the past, we're full of lamentation. And we are in the present, we are happy. We should be happy in our present condition. Whatever it is, as devotees for sure. So let's read that text. So these are the miseries, anxiety. Amit, you want to try to read us text 29 of the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and it's the last verse in the 5th chapter, which is entitled Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness.
Yeah, probably I can read it if nobody else wants to read it.
Anyone else wants to read it? Hands up. Everybody can read. Okay, go ahead, Amit.
Bhuktaram yana
Yagya.
yagnya.
Yagya.
Yagya.
Yagya. Yagya. Yagya.
Yagya.
Yes.
Sarve loka maheswaram srutam sarve bhutanam.
Again, gyatva.
Gyatva mam santim chakti.
Yes, nice. Whenever there's a J and the N, like in jnana, gyatva, yagya, it's not yachna. That would be logical yachna, but it's not. The J and the N with that wave over the N. If that wave is not there, that's a different matter. But if that wave is over the N, then it's yagya. We know all yagya. Or jnana, knowledge, jnana, same thing. That was nice, Sanskrit. That was nice. There was a slight hint when you read Suridam Sarva, a little bit of Sarve, but it was more to Sarva. Of course, Sarva. Your old mistake. Slightly. 5% only, perhaps. Okay. Let's read the translation, Amit.
The conditioned soul within the clutches of the
No. The translation.
Oh, sorry, translation. The sages, Knowing me as the ultimate purposes of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries.
Okay, so peace. Peace from the pangs. We just have described the pangs of material miseries. Adi Atmika, Adi Bautika, Adi Daivika. These are the pangs. All material miseries falling in any of these three categories. And as soon as we enter this material world, these three pangs, these three miseries are constantly with us. Sometimes even two at the same time, or one is there and there might be a little bit a pause and we think, oh, everything is so nice and happy. And then some other misery comes in. Our own mind is causing us misery. Okay, can we have that purport, Amit, please?
The conditioned souls within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activity. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord because he is the proprietor of all planets and the demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of the demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is described as the Tam Isvaranam Paramam Maheswaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be the lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands this bare fact, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator in all living entities, including the great demigods and his subordinates. One can attain peace, perfect peace, only in complete Krishna consciousness. The fifth chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation on how Karma Yoga can give liberation is answered herewith. To work in Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominator. Such work is not different from the transcendental knowledge. The other Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga and Yagna Yoga.
No, not Yagya. Jnana.
Jnana Yoga. Jnana. The path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and the perfection of this consciousness is full knowledge of Krishna or the Supreme Personality Godhead. The pure soul is the internal servant of God as is fragmental part and parcel. He comes to contact with Maya, illusion, due to desire to lord it over Maya. So he comes in contact with Maya due to the desire to lord it over Maya. And that is cause of his many sufferings. As long as he is in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessity. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter. For it is the rousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, the more he is freed from the clutches of the matter. The Lord is not partial towards anyone. Everything depends on one practical performance of duties in an effort to control the senses and to conquer the influence of desire and anger. And attaining Krishna consciousness by the above mentioned passions, one remains factually in the transcendental stage or Brahman nirvana. The Eightfold Yoga mysticism is automatically practicing Krishna consciousness because the ultimate purpose is served. There is a gradual process of elevation in practice of yama, niyama, asana, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, pranayama, and samadhi. But all these peaceful perfection by devotional service, which alone can award peace to the human being, it is the highest perfection of life.
Thus
ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of karma yoga, or action in Krishna consciousness.
thank you, Nami, thank you. Very nice. So let's look a little bit deeper into what we just have heard. Here, it's very interesting. Srila Prabhupada mentioned one remains factually in the transcendental stage of Brahman nirvana. Normally, nirvana is a term from Buddhism. Nirvana is the ultimate goal of Buddhism, of merging into the nirvana, where all material activities cease to be. And that is actually the transcendental stage of Krishna consciousness, where all material activities cease to be. No more material consciousness. Material activities means the activities may go on, but they're not material activities because they're spiritualized. They're in contact with Krishna constantly, in remembrance of Krishna. Manmana bhava mad bhakto, always think of me. And activities which are in remembrance of Krishna, same activities, we have explained it so many times. Same activities as in material consciousness. So all what is changing, the activity stays the same. Let's say we're washing the dishes at home. Everybody's washing dishes, except those who have a wife, maybe. She may wash the dishes, but nowadays, married men, they also wash the dishes. And it's not like 50 years back, where the man never touched the dishes. That was the wife's duty. And they went to work, and the woman stayed at home. My family was such an example. The father worked. The mother didn't work. She stayed at home. She cooked and kept the house tidy and washed the dishes. And helped us children with our homework in school. And when she wanted to also work, my father said, no, you stay with the children at home until they are older, and then you may take a job in the nearby dairy, which she did later on. And that, of course, that was a benefit for us, because without my mother being over us and made sure we did the homework, I don't think we would have done the homework, or very sloppily. So she helped us. She even sat down and learned with us Latin and English vocabulary, and she put a lot of effort into that. But that was due to she was a housewife. She stayed at home. So this Buddhist nirvana, Buddhists think once they have achieved nirvana, that transcendental stage where all material activities cease to be, that is the ultimate goal. And they don't have no concept what is after nirvana. Because for them, nirvana, they try to achieve that through meditation. Of course, through meditation, the yogic process, and Buddha was meditating and showed how to meditate and sitting under the Bodhi tree and so on until he got enlightened. Well-known story. So many yogis, they have been meditating and also got enlightenment. Where is that enlightenment coming from? Enlightenment, the light light. And we prayed just before, Om Agnati Mirandasya, please removes his darkness of ignorance with the shining torchlight of knowledge. That's what that prayer means. So enlightenment means some light is shining into our consciousness. Where is that light coming from? That light is, of course, Krishna as a super soul, as a param atma in the heart. So Buddhists don't accept that. They don't even accept the existence of the soul. We had some meetings many years ago we talked with some Buddhists and other people, and in my ignorance, I proclaimed, well, I think everybody can understand and accepts the presence of the soul. And that Buddhist chap was a very nice young man. He said, no, no, no. He protested. We don't accept a soul. We don't accept that. So the Buddhists don't even accept the existence of the soul. So what to speak, the existence of Paramatma, the super soul in the heart, they don't. They think by their meditation they reach nirvana and that is enlightenment and that's the end of the story. But it's not. We know that. If we, as Srila Prabhupada points out here, nirvana, Brahman nirvana, the Brahman realization, atato Brahma jigyasa. Once we understand we are that Brahman, we are actually Brahman. We are not material, we are spiritual by nature. Also living in a material body, and we just explained, material activities means the same washing up the dishes, but without Krishna, without acknowledging Krishna, without believing in Krishna. And I mean, what believing? There's this nice conversation with, I mentioned it last time, with Carl Gustav Jung, the great philosopher also and psychoanalyst, disciple of Sigmund Freud, the father of psychology. So this Jung, someone asked him, do you believe in God? He smiled, almost laughed. He said, not really. I don't believe in God. I know. That was beautiful. So to see his facial features when he said, I know God. When you know God, there's no question of believing. Belief means you're believing in something, some dogma or anything, something, but you haven't really experienced it. So we have two terms. Jnana, knowledge. It's just like believing. We can have so much knowledge. Oh, I believe in Krishna. And someone else comes and talks us out of it, and then, oh, I don't believe in Krishna. I believe in something else. Okay, that can be changed. People change their faith. In India, quite a good number of Hindus, they become Christian, converting. Or some people converting from Christianity or Hinduism, they're converting to Islam. They change their faith. But we're not speaking about that. Is jnana, knowledge. And there is vijnana. Vijnana. This is realization. That is deeper than knowledge. That is like Professor or Carl Gustav Jung said, I don't believe, I know. Because he has obviously some personal experience. And if we have personal experience of Krishna, however slight that may be, or however profound that may be, then it's not a question of belief. We know. So that should be our answer as well. If someone says, you believe in Krishna? No, it's really, I know Krishna. I know Krishna. So, what ends for the Buddhist in samadhi is the real starting point for a devotee. Because once we have reached enlightenment from within, the light comes. Krishna is shining the light, because in this Paramatma feature, that is a Sat feature, that is a Chit feature of Krishna. Chit means knowledge. That is a knowledge. The Paramatma is a knowledge feature. If we meditate on the Paramatma, we'll get all transcendental knowledge. Where is that knowledge coming from? Where is it coming from? There was a beautiful conversation where devotees pointing out that the dog had done something, whatever it was, and they said, yes, the dog, that's the instinct, right? We believe that in modern scientific terms. Some animals, they have an instinct to doing something instinctively. We may also sometimes say, I do something instinctively. Our instinct. It's not instinct, Srila Prabhupada insisted. Welcome, Jayanti Bhai. It's not instinct. It's the Paramatma, the super soul, Krishna talking to us, enlightening us from within. That is, Paramatma tells us. A little baby, newly born baby, he knows exactly where his mother's breast is to get the milk. It doesn't need to be taught. Or it's instinct. No, it's a super soul telling now where, how to, and where to drink his nourishment. And the same with young puppies and with animals and instinct. No, it's Paramatma in the heart, telling for many lifetimes perhaps what to do in certain situations. So for a devotee, they may also reach that samadhi, and they get the knowledge from within, enlightenment, like the Buddhist. But then Krishna consciousness really starts, because Krishna consciousness before that enlightenment is not really well established. Then what starts after enlightenment? Devotional service starts. What the Buddhists don't know, they have no concept of devotional service. So devotional service starts. When I'm enlightened, I understand. Krishna is the source of knowledge. The Paramatma is the source of all knowledge within the heart. Well, then I must serve this Paramatma. I must serve Krishna. I must do something for Krishna. And that is devotional service. And that is the position of the devotees. And here Srila Prabhupada said the eightfold yoga mysticism, Ashtanga yoga, Ashtanga, Ashta, 8, is automatically practicing Krishna consciousness, because the ultimate purpose is served. And there's a very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita that a river, small stream, may serve a particular purpose. We can drink from that small stream. We can even perhaps wash our cloth and clothing, and take a bath even in a small river. Generally, people in a small river, they have, or in a well, they have different purposes. There are different wells in India. One well is for water, for drinking, another is for washing, because they don't contaminate each other. And another is meant for bathing. So in this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what's the purpose of a small stream is automatically served by a big pond. In a big pond, because there's lots of water. Everything can be done. The bathing can be done. The washing, the brushing teeth can be done. And taking water in the pot, bring it home for drinking and cooking. So in the same way, when one becomes Krishna conscious, the eightfold Ashta, eightfold mysticism, Ashtanga yoga, is automatically practiced, because one serves the ultimate purpose, which is Krishna. Therefore, sometimes it is said, if we serve Krishna, everything else is achieved. It's so beautiful. Because Krishna is, in a sense, he's everything. If we serve Krishna, all other purposes are fulfilled. It's not we serve Krishna and we have to do so many other things. Of course, our duties we keep on doing, but it's not that we're serving Krishna and we have to also worship some other demigods and doing this yagya and that yagya, and we have to worship Hanuman or Ganesh and doing some yagyas and performances. No. Therefore, Krishna says, if you serve devas separately from me, that is also reaching me, but you do it in the wrong way. Why? We are encouraged to serve Krishna in devotional service, to focus on Krishna, and automatically the demigods and Ganesh, Ganapati, and all other demigods and all other yagyas are fulfilled. As a beautiful example, when Srila Prabhupada, when the Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan, a beautiful temple, beautiful temple, the Hare Krishna temple in Vrindavan in India. When that was built, and then a big yagya was held. Yagya means a sacrifice, a fire sacrifice, many mantras and priests chanting prayers, and then a fire is lit and grains are offered into the fire, a big ceremony, and at the end prasadam is distributed. And so Srila Prabhupada asked the devotees to invite all the important people of Vrindavan, all the caste Goswamis, the caste priests, and Smarta Brahmins and Sikhs, and from political life as well, and religious leaders from different maths, from different temples. Everybody was invited. And they all played some part in that opening ceremony of the temple. And after everybody had gone back home, everything was finished, prasadam has been distributed, everybody was satisfied, everybody was happy. Then Srila Prabhupada was sitting with a small group of devotees. He said, we did not have to do all this. But if we would not have invited all these dignitaries and all these political leaders and religious leaders, then our temple would have not been really accepted in the wider Vrindavan community. Because we could have, if it wasn't for that, we didn't need all these yagyas and all these mantras and the fire yagya and the grains and the ghee in the fire and so on. Just by chanting Hare Krishna, the Hare Krishna mantra, that would have been sufficient for consecrating this temple and opening this temple and making everything successful. So that's the same thing. Krishna, if we focusing all our activities on Krishna, all other purposes are served. If we develop Krishna consciousness and devotional service, we get the result of all the yoga processes. All. And Srila Prabhupada, some yoga practices, process of elevation. These are yoga practices. Yama, niyama, asana. Asana, sitting down in asanas, yoga asana. Pratyahara, dhyana, dharana. Pranayama, we know that from Hatha Yoga, pressing the nose here and there and breathing in certain ways, and samadhi. So these processes are automatically achieved for one who develops Krishna consciousness. So that is so beautiful. Such a beautiful process is Krishna consciousness, that everything is achieved. And earlier on, Srila Prabhupada, we're going backwards. He mentioned when the living entity comes in contact with Maya, illusion, due to the desire to lord over Maya. That's the reason why we coming in contact with this Maya, with this illusory energy. Because both is present side by side. Krishna is present side by side with Maya. Krishna is in full knowledge and enlightenment, and Maya is in forgetfulness and ignorance. Like day and night, is side by side. A few hours we have at the moment in daylight, getting fewer and shorter, and then we have a long night. And after the night is the daylight, and then the night and the daylight. So both is there. So it is the same in this material world. Forgetfulness is there, which is Maya. And enlightenment is there, which is Krishna consciousness, side by side. The moment we forget Krishna, immediately Maya is there. Yes, come. I'm ready. And as soon as we gain knowledge and realization about Krishna and we remember, in fact, as soon as we remember Krishna, enlightenment is there. The sunshine is there, Krishna, immediately. How long does it take? Srila Prabhupada said, a minute. Because it's not like in the material world. How to become a doctor? A minute? No way. Years and years of studying to achieve something materially. It takes a long time. But we're speaking here not in terms of achieving any material task or hard labor, not even spiritual knowledge, reading so many books, so much hard labor. No, we're speaking of a change in consciousness. How long does a change in consciousness take? It's just a minute. It's just flipping over the switch. Oh, it's like this. Oh, wow, Krishna, that supreme enlightenment, that supreme knowledge, that Brahman energy, that supreme person, that is Krishna. Oh, enlightenment. Enlightenment, immediately. All the knowledge will come. It's just like when the sun is rising, how long does it take? Well, there is a little bit of twilight in the morning where it is already getting light, but the sun is not up. But as soon as the sun is above the horizon, immediately there's light. All darkness is gone. Immediately. How long does it take? The sun is appearing on the horizon and it's fully above the horizon. 5 minutes, maybe? Maybe 10 minutes maximum. The sun is moving fast over the horizon. First, a little bit of the disk appears and we can stand there and watch it. And in no time, the full sun disk is visible above the horizon. So that's Krishna consciousness. Immediately, it will give enlightenment. And that is not anymore Maya, that is Krishna. Krishna. Krishna is enlightenment. Maya is forgetfulness. So the activity doesn't change. Or it's an illusion, like we see sometimes some magician, he performs some tricks, some illusion. We are puzzled. We are puzzled by it. Some tricks he does. How is that possible? Whatever it is, there are so many types of tricks. But if someone says, okay, it's done like this. Look, I put the card behind my face, I put the coin, I hide it in my hand, and I confuse you a little bit with my other hand, distract you. You don't look at my right hand, you look at my left hand, and then I quickly get that coin from behind, and oh, that coin is appearing. But as soon as we know how it is done, oh, illusion is gone immediately. And that illusion will not come back again. Oh, I know how he did it. So it's the same in spiritual life. As soon as we are enlightened by Krishna consciousness, the illusion is gone. But we have to be careful not to get again entangled in forgetfulness and in Maya. And that will take a little bit of time. Why? Because we are so much used to, so much in bad habits, really, in forgetfulness of Krishna, in this illusory energy. We are so much practiced in forgetfulness that we can easily fall back into forgetfulness in our sinful habits, in our illusory dreams. They will come back as soon as there is a little bit inattentiveness to our spiritual process. Our spiritual process, primarily, it means chanting Hare Krishna. But many other points of practice are there. This helps us to stay on top of our Krishna consciousness, to constantly remember Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada mentions many, many times that we should arrange our life in such a way that we can always remember Krishna. That can mean, of course, many things. We arrange the place we stay, our living environment. We have some pictures of Krishna which remember us on Krishna, remind us on Krishna. And so many things we can arrange in our homes to remember Krishna. And we can also remember Krishna. We put these beautiful neck beads on, Tulsi Mala. We all should wear that. Otherwise, if we don't wear Tulsi Mala, then like that story where Srila Prabhupada asked one of his disciples, "Where are your neck beads?" He said, "They're broke. I'll string them back together tonight." And Srila Prabhupada said, "No. If you know how dangerous it is to be without neck beads, you would be shaking in your boots." And he sent him to immediately fix his neck beads. Dangerous because if we, by higher arrangements, if we leave our body in whatever way, next moment we could be an accident, or this or that, so many things, or we get a heart attack. Look, our Pandava Prabhu, from one moment to the next, he got up, he felt a little bit sick, and he walked towards the cabinet and he collapsed, heart attack, gone. That took maybe 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, 3 even. But if we leave this body without neck beads, what will happen? Yamaraj will send his Yamadutas. Because we all have done some sinful activities, so Yamadutas will come. And if they see someone is wearing Tulsi Mala, they will not touch that person. Oh, this is a devotee, Vishnu, of Krishna. And then the Vishnu Dutas will come, will take that person to the spiritual world. The Yamadutas will not touch someone who has neck beads on. Why is that important? Because if we see the Yamadutas, they'll be frightened to death. These are horrible creatures with horrible features and with some horrible clubs and torturing instruments in their hands. And I know a story, a real story, where someone's father, he was a drunkard, and he complained some horrible creatures following him, for days and days on end, and he was frightened to death. He describes them just like the Yamadutas. So the Yamadutas were after him. He was not dead, he was alive, but he was a sinful man. And then he was in the pub and drinking again, and he saw these creatures. Again, he ran, crying over the street. A bus came, and he was run over, dead immediately. on the scene. So that can happen. So the lesson is always wear your neck beads. Don't wait. Anything can happen. Okay. So the reason why we came into this material world is we want to lord it over Maya. That the whole world is trying to conquer the material energy. The whole purpose of science is to find a way how to conquer over the material energy. How to find that reason why we are aging and dying. Trying to find a solution in the future, postulate. In the future, we'll work it out. And we will never die and never age. We live eternally. Yes, dream on. Dream on. That is not possible. This material world is mrityu loka, the world of birth and death. So there is no remedy for not dying, for not leaving the body. And how painful it is. How painful it is. The dying itself, particularly if we are not devotees, if we are in forgetfulness, if we have material attachment, then the dying process is very painful because we have to leave everything behind. We're so attached to our possessions, to our friends, to our relatives. It's very, very difficult to give that up. But we have to, we are forced to. We don't take anything with us, nothing. We have to give up everything. So, but devotees are already practiced of not being materially attached. And the more we practice and the longer we practice, the more we're realizing that we keep ourselves aloof. How to keep oneself aloof? Not artificially. I shouldn't be attached to this and I shouldn't be. That doesn't work. Because we are tiny, small living entities. We are tiny, spiritual sparks. How tiny? A 10,000th part of the tip of the hair. That is the soul. That's so tiny. Our body may be big. The elephant has a big body, but the soul is also a 10,000th of a tip of a hair. So tiny, tiny, small. So we are tiny spiritual particles. Therefore, we have to be attached to something. The small is always taking shelter of the big. So, for us as devotees, it means we're taking shelter of Krishna. But for the materialistic people, they're taking shelter of scientists, they're taking shelter of their knowledge, they're puffed up, they're arrogant, they think they know something, but nothing of that sort. Reputation, social status, money in the bank account, big pension packet. Nothing will save us at the time of death. We give up everything. Even our so-called material knowledge. When we take another birth, we'll be just in ignorance again. We is a big scientist who takes another birth. Next time he has to learn A, B, C. He has to learn to talk. Very embarrassing to not being able to talk. Long time ago, I was teaching German, even in classes, but I was also teaching German to some board members of a relatively large company, where the chief executives sitting on the table and wanting to learn some German. And I'm teaching them how to pronounce certain letters, like the A with the dots over is and the O with the dots over is and they felt so embarrassed. There was no other way. I tried to minimize that as much as possible. I didn't want to embarrass them. But you're learning a new language. It's just like a small child learning to talk. And they felt like that. Very embarrassing for them because they were big, proud chief executives of a company and they were on top of the world, and they're just muffling some sounds like a little baby. So we take shelter, people take shelter of their knowledge, of their reputation, their social status, their financial status, and all of that. Their big house and big cars and everything financially secure. So to leave it all behind at the time of death, and even before, let's say, they know they're going to die. It's a process. If they're fortunate enough to have knowledge, they will die. If the doctor says you have 1 month to live, you're terminally ill, in 1 month you will die. That's a horrible prognosis, but everybody gets it. Others who don't get it, they just get a heart attack without any preparation. So it's a blessing if we know we will die in a month. Or like Parikshit Maharaj, he got the curse, he will die within 7 days. So what did he do? He assembled all the great yogis and masters and knowledgeable people and the brahmanas together, and because he was a king, he went to the bank of the Ganges. All came, and then he asked her, what is someone who is supposed to die within 7 days, what is he supposed to do? Tell me, what's the process? And they all came with different answers. So yogi said you should meditate on the super soul in the heart. You should do asanas and breathing exercise, hatha yoga, holding your nostril here and then here and then here, pressing your nose and breathing. And some others said you should meditate. And so many practices have been proposed, and he wasn't satisfied. And then by divine arrangement, Shukadev Goswami is a self-realized Shukadev Goswami, from birth, a liberated person. He appeared on the scene. He heard the king is cursed to die within 7 days, and he wants to know what a dying man is supposed to do. Then he spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam, the beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam. And everybody listened, and everybody became enlightened. And that was a perfection. To hear about Krishna, there was a perfection. And then, if we are in Krishna consciousness, it's not very difficult to quit this body, because we are not attached materially. Why? Because we are attached spiritually. We cannot be without attachment. So we have to be attached to something. So we be attached to Krishna and everything in relation to Krishna. Then we can let go of material attachment. Without being attached to Krishna's lotus feet, it's not possible to let go of our material attachments. For name, for fame, for honor, for riches, and all the different. It's just like many times we spoke about the monkey has taken your shoes in India, in Vrindavan, and he steals your shoes and he goes on top of a tree. And he starts, or your glasses, even worse. And he starts chewing on your frame. Oh no. You're screaming at him, nothing helps. And then someone comes up and says, no, look. He takes a banana and throws it up to the monkey. The monkey knows his banana is much more palatable than his glasses. There's no juice in his glasses, no taste. It's just mischief. And maybe the monkey knows that the sadhu is throwing some banana up. So he cannot hold on both. He drops the glasses and takes a banana. I've never seen the monkey keep the glasses and takes a banana. No, he drops the glasses and takes a banana. So, because he found something better. So we find something better in Krishna. We dropping our attachment to the material illusory energy. Simply done. Without Krishna consciousness, it's not possible. Maybe by some extreme austerity and tapasya for a little bit of time, we may be able to control the senses. But the senses have to be engaged in spiritual activities, and that is devotional service. Then it becomes easy, because we are attached, and we are getting a billion times more pleasure from being attached to Krishna and devotional service than what we ever have received from exploiting this material energy. Here Srila Prabhupada carries on. One wants to lord it over. That is why we came in this material world. And that is a cause of his many sufferings. We have explained Adibhaudika, Adhyatmika, Adidevika. These sufferings come along with wanting to lord over the material Maya energy. And can we actually, the question can be asked, is it possible to control the material energy? It seems it is possible. They have sent the rockets up in space and space station, and they claim to have been on the moon. It's a claim only. It's not necessarily the truth. That's a different story. While we have seen it on television, Srila Prabhupada said, idiot box, the television. You can show anything, and we believe. Oh, seeing is believing. Then, so it appears like we have conquered over the material energy. We have conquered space to some little tiny fraction, because space is so vast and so many millions and billions of galaxies, and in each galaxy are billions of stars, and that's just one universe. And that's a smaller universe. And there are bigger universes, and there are innumerable universes. So this, even taking a rocket up to the stratosphere and circling around our beautiful Earth, is not such a big accomplishment, really. But it makes us so proud. And our technology, look what we have. We have these phones and mobile phones and what we can do, and television and this, and so many technical achievements, and we become very proud. We have conquered over the material energy, and we will in the future conquer everything, and we'll conquer over death and all these dreams. That's Maya. For the word is very simple. We surrender to Krishna, and in this way we conquer over our senses, because even these big scientists and big materialists, they may have found ways, and they may have invented the atom bomb to get the energy out of the atom. They may have developed that, big scientists, but they have not conquered their own senses. Not even that. They can't conquer their senses. They can conquer their lust. They cannot conquer their greed. They cannot conquer their ignorance. So what have they really conquered? But the devotee, by being attached to Krishna, when Krishna helps him. So this energy, this material energy, we spoke on Saturday about it. It's also Krishna's energy. It's Krishna's energy. But his separated energy. What's the example of a separated energy? Srila Prabhupada gave a nice example. He said, I'm speaking directly to you. I'm right in front of you, right? But I can also record. In my room, I go up to my room and record a lecture or record something for you on a tape recorder. And then you take that cassette at the time. Today it will be the mobile. You take that cassette and you play it back. And you hear me more or less exactly as I speaking in front of you. But that is my separated energy. That's not me. And at the same time, it is me. But it's my energy, but it's separated energy because it has been recorded on the tape recorder and you play it back. So in this way, the material energy, the material world, anything, any material, the whole material universe is Krishna's separated energy. Krishna himself, he is in Goloka, or he comes here like 5,000 years ago when he performs his pastimes. That is not separated. That is Krishna directly in his eternal transcendental form. But his material energy is his separated energy. It's also Krishna's energy, and anything connected with Krishna is divine, godly, divine. Therefore, Krishna says, Daivi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. This divine energy of mine is difficult to overcome. It's no wonder. How come? Krishna's energy is difficult to overcome because it's Krishna's energy. We are just tiny little souls. We cannot overcome Krishna. Neither can we overcome Krishna's energy. It's divine, it's Krishna's energy. But then he says further, those who have surrendered unto me, they can easily conquer over it. Conquer over this material energy. Those who have surrendered to Krishna. By that surrendering process, we are conquering. What does that mean? Conquer our material energy. We're getting out of the grip of this Maya, out of the illusion. Everybody's in illusion. But if we surrender to Krishna, Krishna personally will instruct Maya, leave him or her alone. You have ruled over this spirit soul for millions of lifetimes. For millions of lifetimes, you had put this spirit soul perpetually in darkness. You covered that soul by your Maya, by your illusion. But now that particular soul has surrendered unto me. That particular soul has taken shelter of me. Now, Maya, you have no jurisdiction anymore. Leave him alone. He is mine. That is happening when we surrender to Krishna. Here Srila Prabhupada writes, as long as the conditioned soul is in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities. Yes, we have to eat, we have to need some shelter, we have to work. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter. For it is arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. So that is a very beautiful statement. We don't. Sometimes people think spiritual life means I have to go to the Himalayas. No. We can practice this Krishna consciousness by devotional service right where we are, in this material world. Or as it is said, devotees are in this material world, but not of this material world, right? That's quite a difference. Welcome, Rituan Prabhuji. In this material world, but not of this world. There's a difference. The majority of people are in this world and they're of this world. Of this world means they're striving materially for economic development, for material happiness, and so on. And so on. Illusory happiness. So this devotional service is arousing. Is an arousing of spiritual existence, even while in this material world. The more one is advanced in this spiritual consciousness, the more he is freed from the clutches of matter, means Maya. And then Srila Prabhupada says, the Lord is not partial towards anyone. Everything depends on one's practical performance of duties in an effort to control the senses and conquer the influence of desire and anger. Lust also. And attaining Krishna consciousness by controlling the above-mentioned passions, one remains factually in the transcendental stage, or Brahma nirvana. Okay, let's go a little bit more up. Srila Prabhupada explains this 5th chapter of the Gita, the last verse. Rituan, Prabhu, you know that verse. Bhaktaram yagyatabasam. So peace formula. That's what we're talking tonight. To getting free from anxiety. So this 5th chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness. Generally also known as karma yoga. We have spoken many times about karma yoga. Karma is material activities. Just karma. Materialistic activities. Again, economic development, gaining knowledge, controlling this material nature, better one's position in every aspect, economically and knowledge-wise and financially and so on. So, karma yoga is different than karma. Karma, the word yoga is added, and yoga means to join, to connect. Connect with what? Connect with Krishna. Connect with spirituality of the spiritual world, or with the spirituality in general. So karma yoga means we acting in this material world with our material activities, but at the same time we have a different goal. The goal has changed. Karma, the goal is pleasure through the senses, getting happy through seeing, through tasting, through hearing, through touching. All material activities of the materialistic person can be reduced to the pleasure of touching something, of seeing some pleasant, something pleasant, of hearing some pleasant sound, of tasting something pleasant on the tongue, of smelling something pleasant, and of thinking within the mind of something pleasant. That's all what it is. That's material consciousness. Getting one's pleasure from the 5 senses and the mind. But karma yoga is different. The goal is not sense gratification. The goal is Krishna. Although we are not fully realized and advanced in Krishna consciousness, but the goal is there. We have Krishna, a devotee, even at the very beginning stages. He has made a firm resolution. He wants to attain Krishna consciousness. The goal is there, Krishna consciousness. but he may not be able to control his senses that well. But this is accepted as karma yoga. We're doing something for Krishna. We don't do everything for Krishna. We're doing a little bit something. We may chant only one round. We may even offer our food. Maybe not even every day. But these are spiritual activities. And gradually we're getting better. If we keep the goal in mind, Krishna, I want to become fully Krishna conscious. I want to come to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. That's the goal. Liberated. Pure Krishna consciousness means we are liberated. Liberated from these three modes of material nature. Now that's karma yoga. Then Srila Prabhupada carries on. The question of mental speculation as to how karma yoga can give liberation is answered herewith. Can karma yoga give liberation? Yes, karma yoga means Krishna consciousness. More, and full Krishna consciousness will give us liberation, as we just said. Liberation means getting free from Maya. Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Prapadyante. The soul who has surrendered unto me. It's easy to step over this Daiviyesha Gunama, this divine energy. And another verse, Padam Navi Padam Nadesham. Samashrita ye pada palava plavam mahat padam punya murare. Bhavam buddhir vatsa. Bhavam buddhi. Rituan, help me. Bhavam buddhi vatsam param padam navi padam natesham. Something like that. It explains that this material ocean is huge. And it's impossible to cross the ocean on our own strength, but if we have taken shelter of the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, then this material ocean, we surrender to Krishna, then what seems to be impossible in material consciousness, to conquer over our ignorance, to conquer over our senses, to control our senses, seems to be impossible. And yogis try with great endeavor. But if we take shelter of the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, that ocean shrinks to such a small size as the water contained in a hoof print of a calf. Not even a cow, a calf. So who couldn't step over the water contained in a hoof print of a calf? Well, that is, Krishna is so kind. He's so wonderful that he helps us by surrendering unto him. So at this stage, we haven't covered everything. We read that text again. Let's read that translation again. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities. The sages know that Krishna is the ultimate purpose of all their sacrifices, all their austerities. The Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities. Krishna is a benefactor and a well-wisher. Surinam Sarva Bhutanam. Well-wisher of all the Bhutanams. Sages who know that Krishna is the purpose of all sacrifice and austerities. He's the Supreme Lord over all planets and all over the demigods. Demigods are not independent. And he's a benefactor and well-wisher. That's a very important point. Krishna is our well-wisher. Not only our well-wisher, of all living entities. Krishna is a well-wisher, Surit. If someone comes to set can accept that. We can accept Krishna as a supreme, basically as a supreme personality of Godhead, above the demigods, the Lord of all the planets, benefactor and well-wisher of us. Then what is the result? Such a person attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. That's a peace formula. Or as Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, the conditioned souls, conditioned because they're conditioned by these material modes of nature. Within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world. Everyone wants to be peaceful. In fact, all these material activities with people running after to economic development, to increase their finances, to find a nice living place, and all these activities are all meant to be peaceful. People want peace of mind, but they cannot achieve it. Even though they may be multi-millionaires, still they don't have peace of mind. You cannot buy peace of mind with material assets. Not possible. But peace of mind comes to the most poor soul, materially poor. But if that soul has surrendered to Krishna, then such a person attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. And Srila Prabhupada writes, but the materialistic persons that don't know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. And the peace formula is simple. The greatest peace formula is simple. Lord Krishna is a beneficiary of all human activities. Men should offer everything in the transcendental service of the Lord, devotional service, because he's a proprietor of all planets and demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He's the greatest. He is greater than the greatest of the demigods, like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishwaram Paramam Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to lord over everything they survey. But actually, they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. Daivesha Gunamai. That's as simple as that. That is Krishna consciousness in a nutshell. Now any questions? Questions? Or any comments? Rituan, you want to add anything?
No, Prabhu. You explained about the peace formula, which Prabhupada has mentioned.
Yeah.
And Prabhu, I was late because I came home from the hospital late today.
Yes, I know. I
Yes,
thought
Prabhu.
so. Amit, any question?
No, Prabhu, I have no question because I mean, it's what you're telling us is the essence of Krishna consciousness, and you know,
It is.
it's what, yeah, it's what we're used to.
It's the essence. It's the absolute essence. And this essence is reflected in every single Bhagavad Gita verse. Every single Bhagavad. It always comes back to this essence. And then one becomes peaceful. Why should we worry about anything? We have Krishna as our protector, as our best friend, Suridam Sarvabhutanam. Or as Srila Prabhupada, when he was a small child, we traveled in Calcutta with his father on the trolley bus, on the tram. And the conductor came and he said, "Tickets, please." And his father showed the tickets. And then in a choking way, he said to young Abai, "And where is your ticket?" And he said, "Oh, I don't have my ticket. I don't have a ticket. Then the conductor said, well, then you cannot be on the tram. And then Srila Prabhupada looked to his father and said, but my father is here. That's a normal reaction. Normal reaction. For us it would be, but Krishna is here. My father is here, taking shelter of the superior authority. So my father is here, you cannot throw me out. My father will not agree with that. So, like that. So we just, if we take shelter of Krishna, no one and nothing can harm us. Vijay, any question? We have a few minutes more.
Just a small question about surrendering.
Okay.
If you don't completely surrender, do you pick up where you left off in the next life?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's explained in many portions and parts. Because, why? Because our bhakti is not a material asset which we lose. All material assets we lose. Our bhakti is a spiritual asset. And spiritually, any asset is never lost. So we picking up where we left off in the previous lifetime. And it's explained that in the next lifetime, it may not be in a small childhood. It may be later on in life, 20, 25 years, suddenly we come in contact with that Krishna consciousness or with spiritual knowledge, not even direct Krishna consciousness, or what to speak of if we're meeting a pure devotee, and immediately we'll take to it. Immediately we surrender, because the power of a pure devotee is so strong. Or if we come in contact with the writings of a pure devotee, we also immediately will take to it. If we come in contact with some spiritual knowledge, even impersonal knowledge, we find some attraction to it, and we gradually advancing, and up to the point where we meet a pure devotee in his writings or in person. And it's explained, it's just like a magnet or the iron is attracted to a magnet. Just like that. You can't stop it. You don't know really how it works. But the iron is attracted to the magnet. So we will be in our next lifetime, will be attracted to the process of Krishna consciousness. Will be attracted to Krishna. We don't know how that came about, because we have forgotten our last lifetime. But nevertheless, we'll be attracted, and then we'll make steady progress. And what we couldn't finish, the full surrender in our previous lifetime, we will hopefully finish it in that next lifetime. And if not, then next and next and next. But we will, every time we will have a better starting position. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that's nice. I think Prabhupada mentioned it may take, it can take, what, 50 years? 50 years?
50 years is more than enough to become fully Krishna conscious. But it can take also a minute. If you're really convinced and want it, it can take a minute. After all, it's only a change of consciousness. Enlightenment is just when you're in a dark room and you flick the light switch, immediately the light is on. So it can be like that if you surrender to Krishna.
Yeah. Nice. Yep.
Nice to know. We continue. Yes, of course we continue. Otherwise it would be a very futile endeavor. I didn't reach the goal. Okay, next time I'm starting at 0. No. We become 70% Krishna conscious next time, next life. We're starting at 71. And going up to 80. Next life we start at 81. And going up to 100. Like that. Anything else?
No, that's
Yes.
okay. No,
That's it.
answered it. Yeah, answer the question. Yeah.
Okay, here we stop. And in our discussion of Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam, the last verse If you want to read over it again, it's the last verse in the 5th chapter, Karma Yoga. It's good to go over it again. If you read that verse again, today, tomorrow, or the day after, and then we remember what we have heard, and it becomes more and more clear. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you all those on YouTube who will be listening to that, and we'll see you back on Saturday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.